Hello everybody, good morning, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news. And is it the end of Erik Ten Hag? We've got breaking news, we've got reaction. But first of all, how are you? How are you all feeling this morning? Because I think that whatever stance you have, I don't think there's any Man United fan out there that's waking up this morning or going to bed last night with a happy mood. It's a horrible place, it's a toxic place. But personally, how are you? Because that's the most important thing, because it does impact all of our mental healths, whether we acknowledge it or not. And I suppose the big question is it going to change no matter what path we walk down? We can talk about that. But the breaking news coming out of Manchester United, get your comments in as always, is that, and it's coming from, look, first of all, I was active on Twitter last night. I don't normally, after a bad game, I normally just disappear and just leave it and watch the bake-off and have a glass of wine, which I did, but I was still on my phone. And I did say last night that regardless of what I think or you think or anybody thinks, that a decision has to be made, and it has to be made very, very quickly. If they are going to sack Ten Hag, as I said last night, I would do it this morning. If we're going to do it, do it. It's a bit like, you know, you've got an infection on your leg. You're going to have it chopped off at one point. Just do it. It's going to be painful. We're going to be hopping around for a bit. Let's just do it. Because the longer we leave it, it might have spread further up the body. So I would just do whatever Ineos are going to do quick. And what I meant by that was you sack him this morning or you back him this morning. And to be fair to Ineos, they have acted. They've backed him because they've spoken to The Athletic, they've spoken to The Telegraph, the BBC. The credible journalists that they leak to when they want to put a message out have been leaked to. And so this, we'll just pick one of them, but it's Telegraph and it's James Ducker. Breaking news, Erik Ten Hag is expected to remain in charge of Manchester United's games against Porto and Aston Villa this week amid growing pressure on the beleaguered manager. Now that's breaking news, we'll talk about that. But the things I want to get into this morning is I want to talk about how, is there a quick fix? Is there a quick fix? What comes next? Because I've gone through the entire Man United squad at the moment and I'm massively concerned about improvement regardless of Ten Hag staying or going. I'm actually quite scared. We'll go through that. I also want to talk about just the pressure that exists in Manchester United, and it's not Manchester. I've heard Man United fans being called out this morning for pressure on players. It's almost impossible to perform because of the pressure. And I thought, hold on a minute, whose fault is it that there's pressure at Man United? We all want to win league titles, and we all celebrate the Busby Babes and the Class of '92 and people like Cantona because they achieved at Man United. And now we're going to get criticised as fans for putting pressure on players because of who we are. It's not Man United fans. What about the media who never shut up about Man United even when we ask them to? What about 10 years of failure because of bad ownership? With every bad year, the pressure builds. And it is a pressure cooker. And who can succeed in that, I suppose, is a good point. But I don't think fans should take the blame for standards. I really, really don't. Also want to talk about, what is improvement? What is improvement from this point? Because I think we can all scream and shout and let it all out. But what is improvement? Like, okay, we're listening. What is it you're going to do after Ten Hag? Or what is it you're going to do if you keep Ten Hag? And I want to get into a few other bits as well. But let's hit topical because it is a news show. I think that Razul, you can misspell it as many times as you like. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm not interested, and I don't do that. So, I'm talking about Man United. We've got a great community. I'm not interested in external thing. I don't get it. I don't know these people. I don't talk to these people. So I'm not interested. If whether it's Jamie Carragher, Robbie Savage or wherever, if they want to have a chat, we'll have a chat. But I'm not interested in any of that. So if you're here for all that WWE stuff, crack on. When do I speak about anybody else like that? I don't. So we're not doing that. I want to talk about things that actually matter. I'm not interested in jealousy and views and everything like that. I'm talking about Manchester United. I'm talking about what's happening with Erik Ten Hag, because I want to pose the question here. If Manchester United have put this statement out this morning through Ineos that Erik Ten Hag is staying, then that is a massive statement. I want to run a poll on this because I want to know what your thoughts are. Should Ten Hag stay? Yes or no? I suspect I know where this will go, but My question is, well, no, it's not my question. This is not my question. This is my opinion. I'm not throwing off. I think he's gone in a week. I think he's gone next week. That's my reading of the situation. I think he is gone next week. I think next week Ten Hag gets sacked and Ruud van Nistelrooy becomes the next Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which we can talk about in a bit. But I think that's what's going to happen. I don't believe that they're going to back him long term. That's just my opinion. I think he's gone next week. So I think it is the end, and I think he will be sacked next week. But that's an opinion. The reason I think that is because I think yesterday will have hit them, like, surprised them. I think that they will not want to run into a decision, which is what Sir Jim has said before. I think they will want to take their time. And I think giving themselves a week and then the international break gives them time. They're not going to be rushing to get a manager because they don't need to do that. It will be rude. So they're not, it's not like they've got to start interviewing Tuchel again or, start thinking about bloody Southgate or some stupid idea like that. They won't do that because they could have done that in the summer. And what will happen is if they go for Tuchel or they go for Southgate or someone like that, which I don't think they will. So I'm just throwing random names. I'm not scaremongering at all on this one. They won't do it because we know we interviewed them in the summer and they said no then. So they'll look really bad if they sack Ten Hag, which they backed, and then they go back to a manager that they said they didn't want. So the next manager of Man United, if it's not Ruud van Nistelrooy, has to be something they've not spoken to before. It's got to be something amazing because if they don't do that, they'll get ridiculed. So it doesn't take weeks to find a replacement for Ten Hag because the replacement will be Ruud van Nistelrooy. It'll be an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after Mourinho thing. That's what will happen. I don't see us getting results against. I think we could get a result against Porto, but I don't think we'll get a result against Villa, and I think that will give them the time to do it. So, although they've backed Ten Hag, I would say that this is the traditional vote of confidence. I think this is just a stay of execution. That's my opinion. I don't know what yours is. The question is, would you sack him? Well, I feel like. Look. It's a weird one because I've had so many people messaging me. I've had threats. I've had the lot. Some nice people have messaged me. Some people have threatened me. Whatever. It's amazing, but whatever. If people want to put the pressure onto me and I take the pressure off Ten Hag or Ineos or certain players, it's a weird world, but that's fine. It's fine. The world is a weird world. But what I think doesn't really matter because I am not the CEO. I am not Sir Jim Radcliffe. I am not the striker for Man United. I am just a fan like you. I have no power on what happens and they won't listen and they never would listen and they won't listen to you either. So, I can apologise for saying I wouldn't sack the manager again if you want me to. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Apparently, it's my fault that Man United are failing. So I apologise to those people out there. I'm really sorry that in 2024, it's considered toxic for backing your manager in your club. And I apologise to those people that I've upset for that. I'm really sorry that I backed the manager and I backed the club. I'm really sorry for that. And I don't know what that apology is going to do. Are we going to start winning titles again? I don't think so. And I'm really sorry that I felt that, being Ten Hag out after an FA Cup win and wanting him to have a year 3 and being passionate about it is considered toxic in 2024. I'm learning about the world every single day. And I'm really sorry that actually being positive about your club is now the new toxic. But, it's 2024. We're all learning every school day, aren't we? So I don't really know what else to say about that, but I still wouldn't sack Ten Hag either. And the reason I wouldn't sack him is because I genuinely don't know what improvement is. So I'm still very much, and I think there might be some people like this as well. I'm still very much this morning, I don't see a solution. I don't see an improvement. I was looking at the Man United team last night and I wrote a list down for the show this morning and I was like, well, let's have a few home truths. I don't see a quick fix at Manchester United, I really don't care anymore what happens with Erik Ten Hag. I don't care if they sack him this morning or next week. I genuinely don't care. I'm spent. I don't. I saw what you saw yesterday, and what I saw yesterday was, even if they beat Porto and Villa, just bear with me on this. Even if they beat Porto and Villa, you're telling me we won't see yesterday again? And even if they replace Ten Hag with Rude, you're telling me we won't see yesterday again? I saw yesterday for Ollie. I saw yesterday for Jose. Watford, Leicester, Everton. You know, the list just goes on. Swansea for Van Gaal. You know, I've seen yesterday for almost a decade. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.